Mark, so good to see you. Today we are talking retirement milestones, the ages that trigger big financial decisions. So there are a handful of ages that can dramatically shape your retirement strategy, affecting everything from taxes to healthcare. Some dates unlock benefits and others create costly mistakes if missed. Let's start with age 59 and a half. This is when you can take distributions from qualified accounts without the early withdrawal penalty, and it's when you're eligible for the in-service rollover. Tell me about both.
Yeah, good to see you, Erin. So when we're talking about attaining the age of 59 and a half, this is where we are eligible to now, if we need to, and that would be the only reason you would take money out of these accounts. But if we take money out after 59 and a half, we avoid that 10% tax penalty. However, we're still going to have to pay ordinary income, but that is a milestone because now we have the ability to take money out without that penalty. Now, the other thing is that if we're still working, we have the ability to do what's called an in-service rollover. So while we're working, we can roll over a portion, or in many cases, all of our 401k, 403b, whatever retirement account we're contributing to, over to our own self-directed IRA. Now, when we do that, we're going from one retirement account to another, and of course, there's no tax. But why would you do that, or why would you consider? It's because it gives you more investment options, it gives you more flexibility, and it gives you the ability to de-risk the portfolio to set yourself up for the income phase of your life.
Right. So important as we creep closer to retirement. All right. Next, we have age 62. This is when you are first eligible to claim Social Security. But should you?
Yeah, that's a great question. So yes, at 62, we are eligible to take Social Security, but we have to remember, first off, if we take it early, we're taking a big reduction in the payment for us, but we're also doing, if we have a spouse, it's a permanent reduction in the spousal benefit. And then for a lot of people that continue to work, there are limits of how much money you can make earned income. And if you go over that, you're going to pay all or a portion of that Social Security benefit back. So for many people, they have to understand that, hey, it may not be the best to take it at 62. And I would say for me, my advice would be, unless you know that you're not working, you need the cash flow, or you've got a health issue, that would be the only time I would consider doing it at 62.
Right. All right. Next, we have age 65. This is when you are eligible for Medicare. And this is a date you do not want to forget. Why is that?
Well, yeah. And one thing, we'll probably not forget it because we get bombarded with tons of mail, postcards. Hey, sign up for Medicare. So for a lot of people that are continuing to work, they can stay on their employer plan if it's large enough. I think it has to be over 20 employees. So they can defer being on Medicare. But for a lot of us, yeah, we want to do this either 3 months before we turn 65 or 3 months after. That's our window of opportunity to sign up for this. If we don't do that, then we're going to be faced with some stiff penalties. And those penalties aren't one time. They're going to continue throughout our lifetime when we do end up filing for Medicare, Part A, Part B, and then ultimately if we're doing a supplement, and Part D, the prescription.
All right. Next, we have age 70 and a half. This is an important date for anyone who's charitably inclined.
Yeah, so if we remember, we have to go back a few years, but 70 and a half was the original required minimum distribution. This was where the government said, hey, you have to take money out. Well, now they've moved that up, but for qualified charitable distributions, we can now start doing this at 70 and a half. So we can figure out what that calculation is, and then we can gift that money to a charity of our choice rather than paying cash out of our pocket, because this is going to be it's going to come out all basically pre-tax. We won't have to pay any tax on it.
Yeah, that's such a win-win. I love that strategy. And last, we have what you were just mentioning, age 73. For most of us, this is when we need to start taking those required minimum distributions.
Yeah, so this changed a couple of years ago with Secure Act 2.0. So they moved up those distribution ages to take out these, and this is forced taxation. This is the government's tax plan for you. So obviously, if you were born after 1960, it's 73. And these calculations are going to be based on not only your age or your life expectancy, there's a divisor we use, but also the account value of what you have in these deferred accounts. The other age is 75, and that would be for everybody that was born prior to 1960. So we have to remember these, but I think beyond what we're talking about today, this gets into really some tax planning opportunities for us to maybe look at Roth conversions and those sorts of things.
Good point. Right. Absolutely. Well, I know you are really conscientious about making sure that your clients are aware of all these dates and milestones so that they don't miss them and avoid those penalties. And as you mentioned as well, save some money on taxes, hopefully. So Mark, if somebody would like to sit down with you, make sure that their plan is all laid out, all these dates are on their calendar. What's the best way to reach you?
Yeah, so you can simply just give us a call, 303-681-0113. Myself, anybody on our team, we'd love to chat with you. We can easily set up an appointment, a Zoom call, and discuss whether it's this or other concerns that you have. Also, you can go to our website. There's a wealth of information there, and there's also a link to my calendar. My website is McGregorwealth.com.
Great. Mark, thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate it.
All right. Thank you, Erin, and have a wonderful day.